Hello, everyone. I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access TV.
And I'm Kim Anderson. I'm on the board of MCAT, and I'm the Director of Grants and Programs for Humanities Montana.
And we'd like to welcome you to this March 21st edition of our Missoula Live. You'll see the program I just wanted to tell them.
Equinox, not solstice, right?
Oh, gosh. Do you guys know?
I think it's equinox.
Okay. Really, so the day and the night are the very same length this day? It's got to be the vernal
that's June 21st.
equinox.
This is the first day of spring.
Yeah, okay, it's the first day of spring, unless it was yesterday.
Sorry. I'm really sorry.
I was just going to say that the program will run every day for 2 weeks, so we might talk about, particularly if Stephen comes, we might talk about an event that's passed. Sorry you missed it, but we will be back sometime in April. So I had a few things to talk about. One, MCAT in the St. Patrick Day Parade. Kim was in it.
It was fun.
We're going to show clips. I think a lot of people have seen our public service announcements. They probably need a good laundering for spring. So I thought, well, Scott could show bits in between the guests coming and going of the parade.
It was a great day.
Yeah,
I mean, it was very marchy, very blustery, but it was fun.
And it kind of rained on us at the end. And we bought 10 pounds of candy, maybe more.
Gone.
$95 worth of candy, I'll say that.
Gone in how many blocks?
4.
Max 4.
So we didn't make it to the end.
So what you need is trucks
way.
and trucks and trucks loads of candy.
That's true.
We learned.
So, but you guys could watch here, and it's on the YouTube at MCAT TV. You'll see it there if you want to. I want to say thank you to the Northside
How
Kettle
did that
House.
go?
It was okay. Nothing groundbreaking. We had like a little fundraiser there, and 50 cents of every pint purchase went to MCAT. But it was kind of fun to hang out with our MCAT crowd, and it's a fun thing to do. If you have a fundraiser you would like to raise a little money in a congenial environment, Northside Kettle House. And I guess a lot of the breweries do that as an incentive.
I think Kettle House has been doing it the longest and is the most committed.
They're the best.
To it. Yeah.
And then I just want to remind people, Saturday animation drop-in is still available at MCAT 1 to 5 p.m. every Saturday. And I think we'll take it, we'll see, through May.
Through May.
Yeah, if the weather gets really nice, may not be as many kids. However, when the weather's really nice, MCAT summer camps. There you can see our website at mcat.org. It's the first thing when you land on the splash page. And so if you're interested, there's 2 camps that meet in the afternoon in June and July. One deals with wildlife filmmaking, the other with stop animation. They're $110 just for the afternoon. And I understand, by virtue of the Missoula Public Library, we can get free lunch through a program of the food bank.
Oh, great.
Kids Table is the name of the program.
Nice.
And then again at the end of July, there will be a all-day summer camp for young adults to make the zombie movie. That's a $200 camp, and you can see all of that at the website. And then finally, I have, if you want to become a public producer at MCAT, you can join us on the second Wednesday of every month. And the tour and training is April 13th, 5:30 p.m. No appointment necessary. Just come to us at MCAT 500 North Higgins. We're in the northeast corner of Spruce and Higgins, and that's it.
Okay.
That's what I got.
I have only one thing, and it's because it's money for people, so I feel like I should get that word out there.
Okay.
Humanities Montana has another grant deadline coming up, so there is no top limit. It's if you have a project that could use a grant of over $1,000. Normal size of a grant from Humanities Montana is $4,000, $5,000. If you're doing a program in the humanities, English, philosophy, history, jurisprudence, the theory and history of the arts, please go to our website, humanitiesmontana.org, and take a look at our guidelines and our requirements. And I would encourage you to apply. It's an online application. And again, the deadline is April 20th.
Excellent. Now we can turn to our patient guests, Rebecca and Bradley. Thank you for coming over.
Hi.
Hi.
Rebecca and Bradley have come from the Missoula County Elections Office to talk about the upcoming election cycle. As if people haven't been talking about it broadly. We need to talk about it. This is the nuts and bolts. Like, if people have all these political opinions, they actually need to do something about it, and that's called voting.
Yeah.
And so what's going on with that whole process? You were here before,
Yep.
seeking election judges, and good news, right?
Right, I'll let Bradley speak on behalf of
Okay.
that.
Yeah, we're really happy to announce that we exceeded our recruitment goal, and we have over 730 election judges
Congratulations
who've been certified to
to
serve
you
this year.
guys and the county, Missoula County.
Yeah.
That's
And a big
great.
thank you to groups like you guys who brought us on board and helped us spread the word about this and get it out to the community too. So we're looking in pretty good shape for our upcoming elections.
Great.
And we've got 3 of them this year, so it's going to be a really busy year.
Yeah.
And
And the 3 elections are?
We have the May 3rd annual school election, and then any special districts, they also go along that cycle. And then we have the June 7th primary. So that's our federal primary. We've been getting lots of calls of, when's our Super Tuesday?
Yeah, we
Where's
did
my
one.
ballot? So we have a little bit of ways to go. We have till June. And then in November, everybody gets together on the ballot, and it's the big one on
Right.
November 8th.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you speak a little to the primary? Like, I think people have questions about it. They may say, I want to vote in the primary. Do I have to be registered with one of the 2 existing parties in the 2-party system in order to vote?
Sure, that's the other phone call we've been getting is, I want to change my party status, or I want to be able to sign up for a party status. In Montana, we have what's called an open primary process, and that protects your secrecy, because if you did register as a party, that's public information, and people may be able to figure out how you would vote. So voters will receive 2 ballots, 1 for each eligible party. Sometimes they might see 3 ballots. I don't think we'll see that this year for a 3rd-party system. But they can only vote 1. And so you don't have to worry about a party status or
you
anything.
don't?
You don't have to
You can
register
decide.
it. You can
Right.
decide.
Right in the moment.
Yep.
And we were just saying before the show started that there aren't that many states that give you that kind of individual freedom anymore.
Right. I think there's like less than 10. It's a small amount.
Oh, that's why a lot of people think I've got to be
Yeah.
affiliated with a party
Yeah.
in order to vote in the primary.
Right, and to be able to register a party and then receive a dedicated party ballot, that's called the closed system. So we're in the open system. You have your choice of which party ballot you want to vote.
That's really exciting news for
Yeah.
people, right? Now, will they do this by mail if they want to, or is this primary voting take place only at polling sites?
This election will be what we call a polling place election. However, if you've signed up on the vote by mail list, or what we call absentee ballots, if you sign up for that, you'll get your ballot 25 days ahead of time.
Oh, wow.
And you can decide during that time how you want to vote. And you can deposit it at different locations on election day, such as your polling place, and still have that polling place experience. If you're not on the vote by mail list, then your dedicated ballot will be at your polling place on election day.
But you don't mail them in.
You don't know.
Right. This is not a mail-in.
Right. A lot of our local elections are by mail.
Sure.
There's some cost savings to
Yeah.
that. So the city or schools like to run their elections by mail. But when it comes to federal elections, we're required to have those by polling place.
In that case, if you don't want to go, you have to get your absentee ballot in advance.
Correct.
You're not automatically going to get a ballot.
Right.
no, and
Got it.
with those ballots, one of the things that we see that's really important is, since we have the open primary, you'll get both ballots, but you can really only vote one. So if you like this candidate who's a Republican for president, but you like this candidate who's a Democrat for Congress,
Yeah.
you need to vote all the way up and down on one,
it's like a
the
slate.
Republican or the Democratic ticket. You can't put them both in,
Oh,
because we
that's
see that
neat.
every now and then.
You have a mix and match.
And we really like to get that news out, because if we get both ballots in,
Yeah.
we can't determine that voter's intent, which one they wanted to vote for.
Right. So does that invalidate
And
the
so
vote?
that would invalidate it. So
Yeah.
if you do get them by mail, when you get both of them, there'll be 2 envelopes, one for your unvoted ballot, one for the ballot that is your party ballot, but you have to pick either
The whole slate
The
of
whole
Republican
slate.
candidates or the whole slate of Democratic candidates in the primary.
Yep.
There's only in the primary.
Right.
And then if you don't return it in time, like if it's invalidated, someone will get in touch with you if there's time to still vote. Or no.
It gets yeah. So statute says that once we've received your ballot and received it in,
Yeah.
we don't know yet if there's 2 back at that time. That means
Right.
it's been accepted. It's like at the polling place and you put your ballot through the machine.
Yeah.
So voters have to be really cautious of that.
Yeah.
Because
Just take your time.
they may lose their ability to vote if they end
Right.
up mixing
Right.
their parties.
Yeah, and they may
Yeah.
not know until after the election, because
Yeah.
we won't open that until election day.
Oh, true that.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
you open them
if
right
we
away,
open-
like, oh, this
Yeah.
is fake.
Yeah.
If we see two in there, we can't determine
Right.
which one. Where, if you're at the polling place on that day, we'd say, oh no, you can only pick one
Yeah,
or the
there's
other.
an
You can't vote them
advantage
both. But
to
it's really
going.
great to get that news out, just so that everybody who's voting counts.
Yeah.
Right, and we're going to put in an extra little piece of how the open primary system works because in 2014 we saw a lot of mass confusion, a lot of calls, and we want to make sure that that their ballots count.
No double doubt. Would you prefer people to call or email you if they have questions?
Calling is always best.
Okay.
Our number is 258-4751. We have lots of staff available to walk them through anything. We also do have an email that's available for people who prefer just to shoot a quick email as well at electioninfo@missoulacounty.us.
That's not bad.
Okay.
I saw Scott was putting up your website,
Yes.
and it had an area for questions or a click
Yeah.
area for email. So that's really good. What else should we talk about? I'm worried about getting Carl out of here.
I
on
know.
time,
We
but
might
I
need
wanna
to get
make sure
Carl
we've
on, but-
covered every.
You're good for judges.
Yep, we
Yeah.
have a great resource.
Oh, this is important, right? We're going to be judges, so we need
Oh,
to
yeah.
go to the training, and the training's upcoming.
Yeah, we have our one last secret training will be coming up. It's not going to be so secret anymore after this.
There goes the cat out of the bag. Yes, do that.
Next week on Tuesday, we'll
Yeah.
be running one final training for election judges who weren't able to make it in February.
Okay.
So we'll have one final training on next Tuesday, and if you catch this in time and want to sign up and have missed it, call into the elections office and we'll get you plugged in for that.
And this is just because for all you hardcore Missoula Live fans, last time
Yes.
these guys were here, Joel and I promised that we would sign up to be judges,
Yeah,
and then
that's
we
something went
totally
wrong.
flaked.
Well, because you said, I'm going to be out of town.
I
for
was. I
this."
looked at all the
You were in
dates for
Arizona,
training, and I was like,
wherever.
"Oh my God, none of them work."
And then I
So-
said, if Kim's not doing it, I'm not going to do it.
but
now it's back on.
We've recommitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be
because
there.
it's going to, as we said, it's going to be such an exciting day.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
the best place to be around a polling
I
place
know.
or
If
something
you're,
like that.
I'm kind of a political junkie, so
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, thank you guys
Yeah,
for all
thank
the
you.
information,
And
and
feel free to come back again, maybe closer, maybe the end of April, you could revisit
before the
us.
school
And
election.
Oh,
we
yeah.
could really say, look, these are important dates coming up.
Yeah.
Because you
Sure.
mentioned May 3rd.
It's, our first election of the year for the
First
schools.
election.
Wow. Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah. All right,
So,
thanks, you
thanks.
guys.
Thanks.
We'll be right back. Carl Olson is here from Missoula Public Library, and we'll show you a little bit of our view of the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
I'll give you my.
That's nice. Okay, we're back with Carl Olson from Missoula Public Library. Welcome, thanks for coming.
And as always, there's all sorts of stuff going on at the library, right?
Yes, there's lots of excitement at the library. As
Excellent.
always, like you said, it's never a dull moment.
But my favorite, first, before anything else, my favorite month is coming up.
And it's my favorite month too. It is National Poetry Month.
Yep.
I brought this little flyer.
Oh,
'cause I
that's
love the
great.
That's
program.
very nice.
And the library is Missoula's home for poetry events and activities for the public, including NaPoWriMo, so a month of writing poetry that the library will post anyone's poetry on our Facebook page.
Excellent.
We're going to have the ever popular poetry kiosk that is loaned to us by Humanities Montana.
Surprise, surprise.
It's a poetry dispenser.
It's a conspiracy.
You go to get your towel, your paper towel, and instead you get a poem. Eat Your Words, Poems from Scratch, a series of workshops with Emily Walter, and it's going to be focused on the poetry of food.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. And a whole bunch of other workshops and music, and an afternoon with Montana's poet laureate,
Yeah.
Michael Earl Craig. I can't get that name out. And then we'll be featuring special poetry books, and it's just going to be a poetry mecca
Yeah.
Throughout the month.
throughout the month of April.
And
That's
there
great.
are a few coordinating things that Humanities Montana has been able to do with the library in conjunction with Poetry Month, which is our celebration of the 100th anniversary of the Pulitzer Prizes. And so the poetry and the poetry dispenser, for example, I was just explaining why they have our Pulitzer logo up there. So all the poetry will be Pulitzer Prize-winning poetry.
Yeah.
And in addition, I think that we are sponsoring the Earl Craig
We're sponsoring the Earl
presentation
Craig.
and something else, I
A
think.
program called Word Song.
Word Song with Dave Casario
Yeah.
from Billings, yes.
which brings poetry to life with music.
Yes, that'll be lots of fun. He's
And it's a great
fabulous.
partnership, as always, with Humanities Montana.
Well, there's just so many fun things you can do with poetry, and I mean, because it's a condensed form,
Yeah.
you can not know anything and pop into the library and come away knowing
That's right.
a lot.
right.
That's right.
Little nuggets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the programs are in the large meeting room at the library?
I think a lot of the
public
programs will be
gathering?
in the large meeting room and in other meeting rooms too. We have a poetry workshop space that's probably
Yeah.
different than the large meeting room, but there will be stuff throughout the library that people can access that's poetry related. And really, if I had my druthers, it wouldn't be 1 month, it would be 3.
Yeah, I
3 months
know,
of
because
poetry.
30 days. that's
Well,
not
it's the
enough
cruelest
time.
month. That's why you need that swing back, right?
Yeah.
Right,
So it
right.
starts April 1st. People should check the website, MissoulaPublicLibrary.org.
Yeah, Scott's been displaying it.
There we
And
go.
they'll be
Enter
able-
our annual Peep Show, it says.
They'll be able to access all the information
What's the
there.
peep show?
The Peep Show, oh, I didn't bring that date, but I believe that it's a week from now. People can create dioramas
Oh,
using
yeah.
peeps.
Oh, cool.
You
And
can
the-
do like War and Peace,
They have to
or
be a literary theme, yes, and War and
see it there.
Peeps. Peeps.
I didn't even think of that.
And bring their dioramas to the library and enter them for the contest, and that'll be going on for about a month, I think.
That's
Yeah,
great. It
because this
says
voting, it says, will take place April 6th through the 15th or so.
you can bring it in
Winners
April
announced.
5th. We're looking at the
Yeah,
website.
winners announced April 18th. Oh, that's really
That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Huh.
And even if people don't enter dioramas, it's fun to go in and look at how clever our neighbors can be when it comes to using marshmallow products.
Right, in a literary context.
In a literary context.
Right. Because
That's
nothing
right.
goes together more than
Right.
peeps and books.
Oh, that sounds really fun, though.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So the big thing that's looming in everyone's head when they think about the library is possibility of a new home, right?
A new home. It's been years in the planning, and it'll be a few more years before the doors open
Right.
to a new library space. But a lot of things are falling into place, so I think it's a really good time to start talking about that. One of the things that people might be interested in knowing is that the library has an agreement with the property owner just to the east of us. So the new library will be built on that block. And then while it's being constructed for those 2 years, the current library doesn't have to move or downscale
Right.
its services and store all the materials somewhere, which was, kind of a worry for us for quite a while that we might have to do that. Virtually anywhere we would have moved, we would have had to kind of curtail the things that we do. So now we won't have to. We'll stay on the lot that we are currently at while the new one's being built, and we'll watch that construction take place, and then when it's ready, we'll have a book brigade.
Yeah.
Sure.
And, hands across America, or in this case, hands down Front Street, and, transfer all the materials from the old library to the new library. And it'll be really fabulous. I don't know if a lot of people know, but our current library was designed to last 30 years.
Right.
They were really explicit about that in 1974.
Wow.
And that 30-year time period expired about 14 years ago. So folks who use the library on a regular basis are really, probably hyper aware of the need for space, the need for room to move. The collection is just cramped. Our collection should be much larger than it
Yeah.
is. Books are not going away. I know for both of you, that's really good news.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Books
yeah,
are not
we're-
going away. They're as popular as ever. So this new library is sorely needed. It'll be 3 times as large as our current space. Our collection will be 3 times as large as
Wow.
our current space. And it'll have a little home for MCAT.
Yeah.
I know.
Right?
That's
it.
why we're so excited
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
I mean, one of the most logical partnerships in the world.
media. We're all
Yeah.
media. Yeah.
First Amendment,
Right.
First Amendment, democracy,
information, democracy.
freedom of information. Yes,
Yeah.
all of that. So all of that.
And not just MCAT, but some other organizations in town as well.
In addition to MCAT, the Children's Museum will be under our roof, and Spectrum will be under our roof. The Science Museum will be there too. And so really it's a library plus. I mean, I don't even know once we open if library is going to be the adequate term for
Right.
it. It's going to have some new fabulous term because it'll be this great one-stop shopping for families, kids, people of all ages.
This huge
to
learning center.
do
I
learning.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's so
All
exciting.
together, right? Media, science, children's museum, like
Right.
Discovery and Wonder, all under one roof, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I mean, the Missoula Public Library, am I right, is already the most heavily used library in the state?
We're the busiest library in the state. That's based on the items that we check out. We
Right.
check out more items than any other library in the state.
So you can imagine how it's going to explode when there's enough space for people, because it's
Yeah.
crowded in there.
It is crowded.
It's crowded. It's definitely crowded. Over time, the common areas, when you look at the pictures in 1974, there were these wide, spacious
Yeah.
areas for people to read and thoughtfully meditate and whatever.
Right.
And all of that has been just really, really like squeezed. And we just have, we do not have enough space for people to just sink into a book and use the library in that way. The other thing that I think it's good for people to know, when we get a new book to put on the shelf, we have to weed out some other book. And that's not a
Yeah.
good, that 1-to-1 ratio is not good for a public library. We need a much more expansive collection than that. And that
like-
makes for some difficult choices that
Yeah,
librarians
I was
have
going
to
to
make.
say, that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Sophie's choice. It's
I
horrible.
know. I know. And when it's Sophie's Choice on the shelf, that you
Yeah,
think
right.
it's
Can you
Sophie's Choice
imagine?
over, it's just like, oh, it's so
Terrible.
meta.
Well, imagine how people must have felt. You know, the town's population has been growing steadily since
Absolutely.
1974.
Yeah.
When you look at that section of the Missoula Art Museum that used to be the Carnegie Library, people in 74 must have felt like they were just
I
busting
remember
out
when
of
it
the
opened.
seams.
I was in high school, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember when it opened and how
Yeah.
exciting it
It's a big
was.
deal.
And I'm going to get to live through that kind of excitement again. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah. It's hard to predict the growth,
Yeah.
and the population has certainly grown the demands of a public library have grown as well.
I mean, you think of the entire internet situation. No one thought of that 30 years
Oh,
ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a classic example. This year, the IRS is cracking down more than ever and saying we're not giving out paper forms.
Right,
Well,
right.
guess where people go? A lot of
course.
people will go to the library to download their IRS forms. And that's the kind of service that libraries
Sure.
perform. It changes all the time and it grows over time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the old clock on the wrist
I
says
know.
Carl's got
Carl's
to
got a
go and he's going to be
meeting.
on time. But thank you so much for
Poetry
coming with
month.
the poetry. Yeah. Oh, you can stay there.
So we're
just
going to
show
cut
a-
away, but thank you
Show
for
a
coming
little more
and
of the parade.
giving us an update on what's going on.
You're welcome. Let
Okay.
me come back again sometime.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Whenever
same.
you want.
All right, you guys, here's a little bit more of St. Patrick's Day
More
parade.
bagpipes.
And we'll be right back with our next guest on Missoula Live.
That'd be so cool. Yes! Oh no, that's a cement. I don't want to stand in the bridge. I don't want to walk the bridge which I live. Woo! Woo! Oh, nice door. I would snack half, but they don't drive that. Nice wheel!
And we are back.
Yes.
We're back with two representatives of the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula. I'm going to say their names. Christiana Eolfsen,
Perfect.
Director of Education, and Jesse Roger, who is the Development Director. So, it's really Rogers. I was just
Irish
playing the
and
fool.
Scottish.
Yeah. So you were saying before, while we were running the St. Patrick's Day Parade, 7 events, public events coming up at the Historical Museum.
We have a lot of fun stuff. Every month, for 2016, we're debuting this thing called Crafts and Conversations. So it's a different day throughout the month where we get together with different craft type things, and we have an hour or two, depending on the time frame, where, let's see, one time it was twirling?
Quilling.
Quilling.
Oh,
that was the
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah.
That I've always wanted. I'm sorry, I missed
What is
that.
Yeah.
that?
It's kind of has
a history that goes way back, but you basically take these small pieces of paper and you twist them and you can make flowers and all sorts of things. So we have lots of friends in the community who have their own skill set, and they've
Yeah.
been volunteering to come out and show us. This time on the 2nd, from 10 to noon, we're just doing kind of a needlework thing, so you can bring your own crafts and come and hang out. We have coffee and snacks, and it's free to the public.
Oh yeah, Scott is showing from your website, and it looks really inviting.
And then our last one was rug hooking, right?
Yeah, we had
Oh,
that.
I do
was-
that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I
That's
love.
so cool.
I love to.
Yeah.
Hook.
And then different times of the month too. If you check out our Facebook or our website, we also usually have a heritage craft conversation that is a brown bag lunch, depending on what week. We put these events on our Facebook page to try to let people know, and also send it out on different events lists. But definitely like us on Facebook and keep us checked out, because we have tons going on. So those are sort of our two craftsy events.
Yeah.
The heritage crafts are when someone comes out and they actually kind of give a demonstration. Like we had a spinning wheel come out, and she did some beautiful stuff. I mean, the things that she puts together are amazing.
And they brought out a loom and demonstrated
Oh,
weaving.
yeah.
Demonstrated,
I
yeah.
like
So
that.
lots of fun there. And then April 19th is a way to support the Historical Museum, because we'll be having our pint night out at Tamarack Brewing.
Oh, so there's
See,
another
like we
one.
did. Now, where is Tamarack?
it is right over on Front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it.
Right over by
now.
Karis
Yeah,
Park, yeah.
Right
duh.
next to Notorious B.I.G. and
Right.
all of that area.
You can come
So
drink for a good cause.
exactly, nothing like having a beer and supporting a good organization. So that's April 19th. Gonna have fun there. And then the 24th is our next fun day at the fort, which is Archaeology Day, which is a big deal for Christiana.
Yep, so I used to be an archaeologist before I came and worked at the
In
fort
Scotland.
in Scotland.
Oh.
And so this is a chance for me to kind of get back to my roots, and we've invited a lot of the archaeology students from the university to come and present their work, but we also have kids activities like a simulated dig and a place where you can help decorate our artificial cave with cave drawings, and we're hoping to get a flint napper out, and that's a free event as well, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
What's a flint napper?
So
It's a person who naps on flint.
Oh,
yeah, I can nap anywhere, so I'm sometimes a slate napper, but so if you ever have seen like an obsidian arrowhead or a spear point or something, so
Yeah.
those are made by chipping off flakes of stone, and so a flint napper is a person who is able to nap the flint
And
and
it's
make it,
K-N.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's
the other
mixed.
kind
Oh,
of nap.
okay.
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So families can just show up.
Yep, so
At the-
let's see, is it 11 to 3 on Sunday the 24th? And there's more info about that as it comes on our website and on Facebook. Oh, and I forgot to mention our friends from Travelers Rest are coming out to do 2 presentations, so they'll have a lot of
that's good.
hands-on activities as well.
We have a lot of fun family events out there, and
Yeah.
we try to keep the community really involved, but our Facebook page is really becoming like our events calendar at this point.
Because
Lots-
things change so fast.
Yeah, and you
They
can
do.
update
Yeah.
and
And we have some new memberships out there at the Historical Museum too, for families specifically, to
Oh.
let them know when we're having camps, tours. They get discounts on things like that. So we have a lot of fun family things out there. Christiana does amazing educational programs.
It's fun.
It is fun,
Yeah.
and so definitely check us out there.
And then there's Forestry Day.
Yeah, and then the exact week
Oh.
after that.
Yeah,
Should be close to your heart.
yeah, yeah.
And then, so April 30th, which is that next Saturday, is Forestry Day. And this is going to be a fun week. So we have Forestry Day, which is on Saturday, which is the only pro-am show known in the entire nation. We have professional loggers coming, or woodsman sport competitors coming from New Zealand, Australia, Canada,
Wow.
all over the United States, and those are just a few. I haven't got all of the world competitors down yet. So we have people coming from all over for the actual competition. It'll also be the finals for the collegiate. So starting Wednesday through Friday, it's actually the Western Regional Collegiate Competition. So teams, university teams from all over the Western region are coming out to compete for those 4 days. And we're going to have wood chopping and pole climbing and cross cuts. And
Were they doing burling?
they'll be doing burling.
The running on the logs in the water?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
A fun event for the professionals on Saturday. Burling includes, so there's a relay race, and it includes you have to jump rope on the burling log. That's fun.
Yeah, that sounds hard.
So there'll be those. There'll also be logging demonstrations. We're going to have horse teams out carrying the high wheels around and doing some demonstration of actual horse logging. We'll have lots of kids' activities for the little lumberjacks.
Little
and
mini
gills.
lumberjack competition.
Draft works.
Bring your own axe. For a little
No,
while.
no.
foam axe.
We have a special foam axe for the kiddos. Not
It'll be
losing any
safe.
fingers
No injuries this year.
this year.
That's the goal.
And it's going to be a ton of fun. Draftworks Brewery is going to host a beer garden, so there'll be that. And then this student chapter of the Society of American Foresters is going to have food, so you can have food, you can buy some beer, you can enjoy all the activities. Of course, the museum will be open along with all of our outbuildings, and it'll be free for the day to always walk around. Now, the actual event is not free. It is our main fundraiser and a huge fundraiser for the Woodsman team and the students
yeah.
of
So
the
it's a small
university.
admission.
Right.
It's $4. It's $10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's not
We're breaking
prohibitive.
the bank.
If you haven't spent all your money on beer.
There
Yeah,
we go.
exactly. Yeah.
It's $10 for family, it's $4 for adult, $3 for senior, and I think $1 for students, somewhere around there.
And it all is going on the grounds.
All going on the ground.
Wow.
So we're going to have the Woodsman competitions in the actual Woodsman arena. We're going to have demonstrations. We'll have the sawmill running with the old steam engines.
Ooh, which is
and
really
steam
fun if you haven't seen that
locomotives.
before.
It's going to be really cool. We'll have
Wow.
the horses out. We'll have the kids' activities. There'll be tours up in all around. The museum will be open. It's going to be a heyday.
It's kind of like
Right.
the kickoff for the spring season, because
Yeah.
that'll be
Yep.
the first day that all of the outbuildings are open. So if you've
Oh,
come out
that's
to the
cool.
fort recently, you can't get into the buildings.
Right.
But starting on the 30th of April, you can.
So we definitely have that. Again, check us out on Facebook. It'll all be there. There's lots going on. Like I say, bust out your flannels and crosscuts and come on out. And then following that, the next week, we have May 3rd, which is Give Local. And we
Oh,
are
yeah.
part of Give Local this year. In addition to just being part of the biggest 24-hour giving campaign in the state, we are also having a Celebrate Community with Culture and Cute Companions. So,
Wow.
yeah.
And it's not just me and Jesse. There's
I
other
was
cute
gonna
companions.
say, you
Yeah.
guys are cute. But yeah.
We are working with the Western Montana Humane Society.
Uh,
And we're going to have who knows how many little fuzzy critters out there.
cute.
We're going to have some kids' activities. We're having barbecue food trucks and who knows whatever other food trucks out there so
Wow.
people can have lunch. We'll have a donor lounge, so if you donate, you'll get entered in a raffle. You'll get discounts off the food trucks. You'll get to play some horseshoes or whatever other crazy activities we come up with. We're hoping to have ponies and pony rides, so you never know. It'll be like a little cart and take
Yeah.
people on little pony rides. We'll see. Lots in progress. But there will be a lot of fun, fuzzy creatures to give a hug, and it is from 11 to 1 during the Give Local on May 3rd, so you can come out, have lunch, hug a kitty, hug a pony.
Donate to wherever you want
Donate
to. Probably
wherever
us
you want
and you
to,
guys.
us. And in addition to like all of that, let's see, the food, the lunch, the fun. It's just going to be a fabulous day. There will be, all of the opening buildings and everything. Oh, and you get a sneak peek of the new exhibit,
Oh.
which leads me
great.
to our next event.
Okay.
Again, like us on Facebook, you'll find all
final.
this stuff.
Yeah.
So May 14th is the grand opening of our new exhibit. So every 2 years, our new large
Wow.
Heath Gallery gets a fantastic new exhibit. This year is going to be phenomenal because it is Missoula, collecting Missoula, which is a look into the Historical Museum's collection. So we have the most bizarre things down there. We've collected the culture of Missoula for 150 plus years.
Right.
So we have something like 40,000 artifacts in our collection,
Wow.
and at any given time, there's only about 200 or 300 on display. So this is a really fun chance to get all the really cool things that just haven't fit into exhibits before, and for people to get an idea of how museums work, why we collect what we collect, and how we preserve things.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So during the Give Local Day, you'll get a sneak peek. And then on 12 to 4 on that Saturday, May 14th, it'll be a grand opening. We'll have beverages and snacks and all sorts of fun stuff. So we want to tell the community to come out and have fun. And
Wow.
that's it for the, you know,
That's
festival.
all.
That's all.
So that's all.
Sounds like these guys have to come back.
I know, I was just going to say, we
Kind of
will.
recap
You're going to have to
a little.
remind us of what's going on
Yeah.
in the weeks as they go.
And
But
definitely check us out. I mean, there's ways to contact us: Facebook, call us, email us, go to our website, fortmissoula.org. And, you know, we're always having things out there. So
Yeah.
the public can reach us anytime.
I forgot to mention too that we're looking for volunteers. So
Yes.
for all of these fun
help.
events,
Yeah.
we could use
Them all.
volunteers, and for school field trips as well. We get about 3,000 kids out each year, and we couldn't do it without volunteers. So if you know someone, or you happen to like history, or just like talking to kids, then give me a call at the museum, or email us on Facebook, or
And there's
go
a
on the website.
variety of volunteer opportunities.
what
you
a
can work
fun
inside the fort, you
place.
can work with kids, you can work in collections, you can work with me doing events, you can work with Christiana
Yeah,
doing
it sounds like the
education.
events are going to be somewhat labor intensive.
yeah, it's fun. We have a pretty good little army of volunteers, but we could always use a few more enthusiastic
Sure.
folks.
There's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of fun stuff out there.
I was thinking too, you know, MCAT has that a drone thing.
Oh,
And only one young fella, Mason Good, he works with Scott on the animation and the summer camps. He's kind of got it figured out. So maybe we should get him to go for the some of the events. And
Yeah.
give you some
Oh,
good
That'd be
feedback.
really
get a
fun.
aerial
He
view.
should come out for Forestry Day
That's
and
what
see
I was
guys
thinking.
Yeah.
come from a top.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
Because the fella David Egg, for those of you watching out there, David EGG, like an egg, he has a flyover around the fort. I'll email it to you.
I think he may have put it on our Facebook
He
page
might have
once,
put it on
but
the
yeah,
Facebook page,
yeah, I've seen
so
a really cool one.
It's a good resource for people to be able to see
Yeah.
an overview of the
Yeah.
fort.
yeah.
It would be fun because it's gorgeous out there. It's a 32-acre park. It's
Right.
not just a museum.
yeah.
We have so much going on.
And I think for a lot of people who live in town who don't, think about going regularly to any of the cultural institutions in town, go back out to the fort because there's always something new happening.
And we're now free to all Missoula County residents. So even if you stop in for
that's
5
great.
minutes on your way
Yeah.
home from lunch or something, it's always good to pop in.
We like going for a walk. It is 1 mile. If you walk around the fort, the historical museum, it is 1 mile.
I've gotta come
I've
out and do
clocked
that,
it.
'cause, yeah.
So it's a perfect way to get your mile in or your 10,000
That's a
There you
great
go.
idea. I'm going to do that next
Take a
weekend.
break.
Yeah, it takes about 15 minutes and it's really just fresh air and beautiful.
Oh, great. Well, good luck.
Yes.
Thank you, my
I hope you guys are both drinking your coffee.
Oh yeah, we are very
Eating your
caffeinated. Yeah.
spinach.
Uh-huh.
You'll come back, right? You didn't give
I-
us
Sure.
Yeah,
update.
give us
We'd love
updates.
to.
Speaking of which, how did the book sale go?
Phenomenal.
I was
Okay.
there. I got
Yes.
great books.
Our goal was 7,000 with your help and the community support. We knocked it out of the park and made over $11,000.
Well, it went really
All
well.
of
Yeah.
that money goes back to restoring the museum and doing educational
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
programs.
They had an amazing selection of
Yeah.
books. It was great.
It was fun. I have so many books. Everyone got books for Christmas.
I bought those too.
Yeah.
I'm glad that went well. All right, I guess we better go. Thank you for
Thanks
stopping
for having
by.
us.
Thanks for everything you do.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And we'll be right back. Here's a little more of the St. Patty's Day parade. And hopefully we've got a guest out there.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Otherwise, we'll just come back and cry. So we'll see you soon.
here we are.
Hey, it's on me. Welcome back to Missoula Live.
Me, it's Scott. Yes.
I'm being interviewed by Kim Anderson.
I'm invisible. Oh no, there I am. There I am. So Joel has moved to the controls, as you can tell, and
Yep.
I'm here chatting with Scott, who's going to tell us about maybe a little more detail
Yes.
about the drop-in camps and the summer camps.
We do our every Saturday until like Memorial Day. We're going to do stop-in animation camp every Saturday for this, and it's from 1 to 5 for $10. It's basically we get to babysit your kids, and also your kids get to learn a nice little skill from stop animation. And of course, if they get a little bored of that, we can always entertain them by making a live-action type movie, which we have, and we've shown a couple of those for sure.
And these have been really well attended, right?
Oh yeah, this last week was kind of low because as the weather gets nicer, there are less and less kids wanting to do like interior type activities.
Sure.
So that's something that we're going to be gearing towards for our summer camps. We have our wildlife film camp that's happening last week in June. Towards the last week in June, because it's very weird because there's that 2 weeks between June and July that conflict with the July 4th weekend schedule, because a lot of families like to go off and do that thing.
Yeah.
I believe it's like the 21st through the 24th or 25th of June is our very first summer camp, and that's where we're going to go to Rappers of the Rocky with Kate Davis, and that's basically 1 to 5 Monday through Friday.
So for that summer camp, kids will be primarily outside. They'll be interacting with some of Kate's amazing birds.
Yes.
And learning how to film wildlife, right?
Yeah, and the one big thing that we're doing this year is our instead of doing a directing camp like we did just last couple of years with like the more like condensed type of stuff, we're doing a full day camp. We're doing from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and that's the last week in July.
And what is the age
That
range?
we're looking for kids who a little more maturity, a little older,
Right.
Between the ages of 13 and about 18 or so, and we're looking into that because we have a couple of the kids from past 5 or 6 years or so that we've been doing these summer camps who are just like, oh, I've aged out, and we're like, well, here you go.
You have it. Now, is this the camp where they're going to be making a zombie movie?
And we're
This is zombie
and
movie.
hopefully we're going to be working with Richard and Ben. They're from Roothead Studios. I haven't really contacted them too recently because I'm all about doing after school programs. Because right now I'm all about the after
You're
school
busy.
programs.
Right.
And those will start ending and peeling off. Probably really hitting all these summer camps and promoting them. Promoting them hard in May and pretty much June, because usually it's like we don't get anybody really signed up as much, but then as soon as school gets out, it's usually after 1 week the kids are home and the parents are like, get out.
I can speak from experience. Then the panic hits, and you're like, "Oh my God, what can I get from?" But I think what would be really smart is if you have children and they haven't had any experience in film or making videos, that bring them to a drop-in day.
Yeah, that's a
Bring them
great
to
way to
Saturday,
get.
And if they fall in love with it, then you're like, summer camp.
Yeah,
Got
because
it.
we do that because our Saturday drop-ins are strictly stop animation. They get to
Right.
sit in the studio. They get to they have all the run of the building basically because it's Saturday, and a lot of times nobody's here to yell at us. So
And kids love that.
yeah. But don't worry, we have adult supervision. We have me, we have Noel, and then we have, of course, our junior staff, which is Neil and Mason.
That's great. I mean, and they're younger, right? And they've been through the program.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well.
Neil's been through the program. Mason's been through the summer camp program, and they just kind of show up.
That's so
like after
great.
school, they just come over here, and I don't know if they have lives or whatever, but
This is live.
this is live.
This is live.
This is live. I don't know about live.
Yeah.
Well, then it shows over and over again.
So once again, the drop-in every Saturday
Yes, but-
until
Yes, until Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And then I want to, like a parent appreciation day. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to invite all the kids who've done stop animation and all their parents, and we just have all the movies that we've done this year, and then we just kind of sit back, watch the movies, and then feed them.
Oh, that'll be fun.
That'll be just a nice little party.
Yeah.
And then, of course, promote our summer camp.
Right. And then the summer camps again are there's the wildlife
Yes.
film.
And of course, we have the stop animation summer camp as well, which is
Okay,
a
we didn't
week-long
talk
stuff.
about that.
That's happening my mind always goes blank with like
It's all on
specific
the
dates,
website.
but
Yeah.
it's all July. I think it's the second week in July which is like the first full week that doesn't fall on July 4th, which is happening like on a Monday.
Right.
So we're gonna do that week after, so it's like July 11th through like the 15th. That's our first stop animation week-long camp, and of course there's always a big draw to that, so we'll usually extend it another week for any additional kids who want to do it.
Right, because I mean, these camps sell out, so it's never too early to start planning for your kids' employment during the summer.
Yes.
How's the morning show going?
Oh, it's going great. We, if you guys don't already know, I do a morning show on MCAT called Wake Up Missoula. And it's a nice little show. It's a bi-daily show, so we do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where we talk about what's happening in Missoula in terms of like events. It's like it's a talk show, and we kind of expand on community calendar events, and it's really fun. I like to. We talk about all sorts of different things. Sometimes I do a little city council report, just kind of like get the bare bones of what happened at city council, like based on what's happening and following along what's basically affecting Missoula, especially with, I don't want to get into it because I don't want to be like, oh, Missoula Mercantile, and then I was like, oh, don't mention that around my dad.
But I appreciate your kind of, concise wrap-ups of what's going on in city government, because it's, for most of us, we don't want particularly to devote 4 or 5 hours to attending a city council meeting.
And I feel bad for Joel because he has to do his meeting tonight as well, and it's supposed to be a long one because aren't they talking about the Missoula Merc? Yeah.
That's right. It's going to be a long.
So if you're interested in public comment, you can go on down there at 7 p.m. Wait, I probably shouldn't advertise it. Then it'd be longer.
Well, or you can just tune in to Scott's show on Wednesday and find out.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get the bare bones because one time I did a meeting and there was like 3 hours of public comment.
Yeah.
And so I did about 3 or 4 good quotes from either side and so on and so forth. But it seems like with what's going on with the Merc, it's like everyone's like against it. It's like pretty much everyone's against it.
Well, it's a lot of people are very upset, and rightfully so, because no one wants to lose that.
We probably shouldn't talk about this because
history.
we're talking about our summer camps.
But I just wanted to say, so Wake Up Missoula airs
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday live at 8 a.m. and then it repeats that afternoon at 2 p.m.
Oh, good. So if you sleep in, you can be like, hey, what's happening in the afternoon?
It's still technically, it's like Wake Up College Kids for our afternoon show. We just changed the title, Wake Up College Kids.
Right. Okay, well, I think we've probably chatted about that as much as we can, and we'll fill out the remaining few minutes with maybe some more of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. But I'm Kim Anderson, and I'm saying goodbye for myself and for Joel Baird. This is Missoula Live. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you'll see Meridian.